And the tying run is aboard. Ozzy Martinez, the hitter next. Struck out and flied out twice. Mitch Atkins might have been a strike away and appeared to hang a curve that Darren Ford hit out. So a one-run game. And the tying run is on base. Martin to face Martinez. Jarrett ready. And the first pitch, it is high and away. Martin 0-1, 5.91 ERA in 13 outings. There's the 1-0. And that misses down low. This is really tough for a new pitcher coming in to... number one, everybody says the mound here is different, but then in these conditions, Atkins did finish at 95 pitches and a throw to first. Amarista back standing. And that was his season high. Previous high was 86. Then he had 85 his last start. Martin so far, 6 pitches, 7 pitches, 1 strike. The 2-0, a little high. 3-0. Alejandro De Aza is on deck. Martin's first outing in this series. He fires and misses low. Back-to-back walks. And the tying run now goes to second base. And here comes De Aza. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI single back in the first. Another GM, Brad Smith, coming to the plate. Having a word with Manolo. Rain is coming down very steadily. This might be the game right here. Infield is in puddles, and Martin fires a first pitch strike. De Aza, who made a great play in center in the top half, but then had the triple knuckle on him and right past him. The 0-1, it's just low. And now you can hear the rain pick up even harder. It's a downpour. The field looks like that rain game in the World Series 11 years ago. Phillies and Rays. Remember the images of the infield dirt. Pitch is in tight. It's 2-1. I understand they want to give the Bees the full half inning, but look at this mess. I get it, but it is brutal. Pouring the 2-1. Swing and a miss. And Martin might be a strike away himself, as Atkins might have been a couple of hitters ago. Amarista the tying run at second. Martinez on at first. The stretch. The 2-2. It's in the dirt and low. Skelton picks it. And the count goes full. So the runners will have a head start if they can stay on their feet. Taylor Motter waits on deck. This is unbelievable. Mud everywhere. The stretch, the payoff pitch, up and in. Ball 4, and the bases are loaded on 3 walks. This is incredible. And as the rain picks up even harder, Taylor Motter coming to the plate, and Manolo Alejandro has just called for the tarp, which might save the Revs. Holy smokes. They just loaded the bases on 3 walks, and Manolo just called for the tarp finally deciding that it was too much. And nothing's official, and it won't be for another 30 minutes. By the way, Dotel came into the game in right field, and he's having fun with the umpires, or maybe he's not. Maybe he's angry. I think he is angry. He's pointing at the field and hollering at them for not calling for it sooner, pointing down like, look at this trash that you made us risk our health in. And I guess they were trying to give both teams equal number of outs, but, I mean, it got to the point you had guys at risk. And now they push the tarp across, shallow right field. And nothing will be official. Now there's a New Britain. There's a New Britain player. That's Anthony Marzi, who just came out and took a picture on his phone of the home plate area and how bad it was. I mean, you can't even see home plate right now. It's so covered in mud. It looks destroyed. It looks like somebody shot it with a bunch of tan paintballs. With all of the new dirt that they tried to put down that then turned to mud and got dragged around. So here's what I was about to say. Nothing's official for another 30 minutes. And obviously I don't make these decisions, but I am looking at these conditions. And right now they are really struggling to pull the last couple of feet of tarp over that home plate area. It's stuck to the mud. I don't see how this field is going to be playable again at any point tonight, is what I was about to say. So we will see. We are in a delay here in the bottom of the 7th inning with the Bees having them loaded and 2 outs, and the Revs leading 5-4. Now we'll take a break. We'll recap how we've gotten here. And we'll check scores from elsewhere and let you know what's going on. They are not able to cover those final couple of feet at the home plate circle. It is still uncovered. The tarp got stuck, so they're now going to bring out the home plate circular tarp and use that to cover that last bit of dirt. But I mean, this field might need the whole weekend when New Britain goes to High Point for this thing to recover as much rain as hit that infield dirt. And not even just tonight. We played in rain the other night, and obviously I assume they had the tarp on yesterday when it rained all evening. But anyway, the way it looks now, I don't see any way that the game resumes tonight, but not for me to project. So a 5-4 lead for the Revs in the bottom of the 7th inning on a crazy, wild night here in New Britain, most of it surrounding the weather. We'll take a timeout, back with you in just a moment. Again, 5-4 with the rain finally stopping play here in the 7th inning in New Britain.
Everything you've worked for may be facing a hostile takeover, but step outside the boardroom and look around. Not taking care of business right now could leave you dealing with a hostile takeover by crabgrass later this summer. And broadleaf weeds are just beneath the surface, ready to take their share of your turf too. Prevent hostile takeovers. Call Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care and give your lawn a good, healthy start this year. Heritage Lawn can apply crabgrass pre-emergent and quality fertilizer now to fortify your lawn for later. HeritageLawnandLandscape.com. World-class care right in your backyard.
The Dietz and Blewett Diamond Deck at Peoples Bank Park is sponsored by Dietz and Blewett Insurance Company. Dietz and Blewett Insurance Company has been serving the York and Central PA areas for more than 10 years. Visit their new location on 2000 South Queen Street, where you'll find friendly, courteous staff who put their clients first. Google them on the web for a free quote. At Dietz and Blewett Insurance, you'll find the best rates on home, auto, health, life, and business insurance.
Money and business are essential to the strength of a community. So is cheering and celebration and music and fun. That's why York Revolution games, concerts, youth sports, special events, and more happen at a place called Peoples Bank Park. Peoples Bank has been serving York County for more than 150 years. Always cheering, always celebrating, always committed to the things that make York County great. And to you having a great time at Peoples Bank Park. Peoples Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Catch the Revs all season on Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
Rain delay here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Revs leading at 5-4. And let's recap how we got to this point. It has been crazy to say the least. And Anthony Marzi, through the first 6 innings, was flat dealing, had faced 1 over the minimum. But the Revs erupting for 5 with 2 outs in the 7th inning, and we'll get to that in a moment. Marzi had taken a picture of the home plate area a few minutes ago, which maybe leads me to believe that he personally thought things should have been stopped sooner. I don't know. But we played the last couple of innings in rain of varying degrees, and they had to bring new dirt out on several occasions, one of which was at the beginning of his last couple of innings. And in the 7th inning, noticeably, he did not have as good of command as he did in the first 6. But at any rate, New Britain had led all the way. They scored in the bottom of the first inning on an Alejandro De Aza single that nicked off Talvin Nash's glove on a leaping attempt at first base, which made it 1-0. And then in the 4th, Jonathan Galvez, an opposite field solo homer to right center, which made it 2-0. Mitch Atkins certainly had more than his share of positives tonight. He had retired 7 in a row after that home run, 6 in a row before it, and it would have been 9 straight if not for an error. But then in the 6th inning, New Britain adding an insurance run on a Galvez single that missed a home run in left by inches at the very top of the wall, but it did make it 3-0. Melky Mesa threw out Galvez, trying to stretch it into a double at second base, Mesa's 4th outfield assist, behind only Dotel's 5 for the team lead. So it was 3-0 at the end of 6 innings, and in the 7th is when it all broke loose, and it started with a Casillas single after a great at-bat, and then Mesa singled to left field, made it 1st and 2nd, no outs. Talvin Nash then hit one nearly 400 feet to dead center, and De Aza going back made a great play, falling at the base of the wall. He was checked on but stayed in the game. And with 1st and 3rd and 1 out after Talvin just missed, tying it on that swing. Tejeda walked to load the bases. That was it for Marzi. Devin Burke came in, struck out Castillo for the 2nd out, but couldn't get through J.P. Sportman, who lined a 3-run, bases-clearing triple that knuckled and changed direction right past De Aza in center field and went to the warning track, all 3 runs scoring. As the rain picks up again here during the delay, that tied the game at 3-3. And then Nate Coronado with Sportman at 3rd and 2 outs, tie game. Coronado in opposite field, 2-run homer to right, his 2nd with York, all in the last 8 days, both in the last 8 days. And that gave the Revs a 5-3 lead in stunning fashion. And from up here, couldn't hear how vocal the Bees might have been. I'm sure they probably weren't happy that the game was still going. And I know at one point Moro Gazzo was visibly arguing something. And then in the bottom of the 7th inning, Mitch Atkins had the first 2 outs pretty quickly, and it was actually quite impressive how good of control he seemed to have in those conditions. He did give up a line drive to Romero, but it was right at third for the first out. Then he got a weak ground out, and then got ahead of Ford 0-2, but a curveball hung. Ford hit it out in left center, made it 5-4. And Mace, I know he's got a policy. He does not want his starter to give it up when he's given them that much, that deep into the game, and has a chance at the win. And sometimes after you've been out there for 95 pitches, things like that can happen. So he went to the bullpen after Mitch gave them a season-high 95 pitches. By the way, 6 2/3, 6 hits, 4 runs, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. And Jarrett Martin was brought in, and it was a struggle, but 100% of it might have been the conditions. And his first time coming in this series on a mound that, honestly, everybody around the league says is different than all the other ones, a different feel to it. And Mace wasn't too interested in making excuses for the way things went yesterday when there was no rain, but that coupled with some awful conditions tonight might have been 100% the reason. But Martin walked all 3 that he faced, and Taylor Motter was about to make his way to the plate, and after New Britain had cut it back to a 1-run game and loaded the bases with 2 outs, that is when Manolo said, enough is enough. It's not safe. Bring the tarp on the field. And to be honest, I can't imagine. I'm sure the Bees, they've won 8 in a row. They're trying to answer back and come back. They're in a division race. But the guys do also have safety and careers to think about, and I can't imagine that any of them really wanted to get in the batter's box at that point. And I was focused so much on the infield and how bad that looked, and the warning tracks as well. But after Marzi came out and took the picture of home plate, that's when my eyes really went to the home plate area and how nasty that looked. And I'm not sure that they even wanted to continue at that point. I think the problem from New Britain's side is they may not have wanted to continue in the top of the 7th inning when the Revs made their comeback, but that's where we are, and that's where it stands, 5-4 here in the bottom of the 7th as we wait to see what is next. And once they put the tarp on, they do have to wait 30 minutes before there is any determination. But at the moment, it's a 5-4 Revs lead in a delay here in the 7th inning. We'll take a timeout, check the scores from elsewhere, and then send it back to Fox Sports Radio as we wait. But again, right now, 5-4 York. The totals at the moment for the Revs, 5 runs, 7 hits, 1 error, 2 men left on base. For New Britain, 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors. They have left 3 for the game, and they currently have 3 base runners with 2 outs in the 7th inning. So a 5-4 score. We'll take a break, back in a moment here on Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK.
Hear that? It's the sound of summer. Sound nice? Call Kona Ice. We do it all. Schools, sporting events, parties, both corporate and birthday. You name it, we'll be there. We bring the party to you. If you need a little bit of fun in your life, we're the shaved ice truck for you. Oh, and we fundraise too. This summer, cool down with Kona Ice. Give us a call at 1-800-KONA-ICE or visit us online at www.kona-ice.com. Kona Ice. Flavor our world.
The malls and the internet are filled with places that sell running gear. But where do you go for performance track and field gear, technical help, and reasonable pricing?
Flying feet.
Flying Feet Sports Shoes' reputation is widely known. They've been outfitting beginners to nationally ranked runners for more than 30 years, and their selection of brands and models is unmatched anywhere in Central PA. Training shoes, track spikes, specialty shoes for all field events. If Flying Feet doesn't carry it, then you probably don't need it. All this at prices that will pleasantly surprise you. Flying Feet's entire staff is knowledgeable of what you need. Beginners and pros come away from Flying Feet with the right advice and the right shoe for their needs. And that applies to the needed accessories. Replacement spike elements of all sizes, shot and discus implements, running apparel and sports tights, and Under Armour performance apparel for specialty track and field equipment and the know-how without the specialty store prices. Flying Feet. Just off exit 18 of I-83 on Mount Rose Avenue next to Battery Warehouse in York.
New FM signal, new website. Get features, live broadcasts, and on-demand game broadcasts and shows online at 989WOYK.com.
Five-4 lead for the Revs with bases loaded of Bees, 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning in a rain delay here at New Britain Stadium. Take a look at our York Mitsubishi out-of-town scoreboard, and I'm thinking that they might be in a rain delay at Long Island as well. That score has not moved from 0-0 in the 3rd inning in Game 1 of a doubleheader in quite some time, unless they're having some sort of internet troubles with their live scoring system, but that is what it is showing on the MLB Advanced Media scoreboard. It is 0-0 still in the 3rd, and wondering if there's a delay there. They're supposed to play 2 tonight. Southern Maryland leads High Point 3-1 in the bottom of the 6th inning at Regency Furniture. And Somerset out to a 3-0 lead in the 2nd inning at Sugarland tonight. Major League scores: Brewers up 5-1 in Pittsburgh in the 4th inning. Rays lead the Twins 8-0 in the 4th in St. Pete. Royals and Rangers scoreless in the 2nd, so are the Indians and White Sox. Earlier today, Phillies were denied a sweep of the Cardinals. They fell 5-3. Jed Jerko, Josh Judy's former high school teammate, hit a 2-run homer in that one. The Giants a 3-1 win in Miami, ending a 7-game losing streak. Rockies in 10 beat the Diamondbacks 11-10 at Coors Field. And some West Coast games. Mets are at the Dodgers. The Angels are at the Mariners. And a little bit west and south of here, the Red Sox and Yankees were postponed in New York tonight. And they will not make that up until August, but I'm not sure how early they called that. It says that it was postponed by an impending storm, which would lead you to believe that they made the decision before it arrived. We made the decision here tonight, well, not we, but the Bees, to start this game early, which helped allow us to get to official game status. And our game 5-4 York in the bottom of the 7th. Well, before we send it back to Fox Sports Radio, once again, let's look ahead at this weekend. Revs are back home tomorrow at 6:30. Matthew Grimes against Jake Fisher in the series opener with the Ducks. A Boomers Book Club night presented by Harrisburg University. Saturday at 6:30, post-game fireworks and Go Green night with the tote bag giveaway, which is presented by York County's Solid Waste Authority. And it is also Car Smash night presented by Auto Plus. And then on Sunday at 1 p.m., Sunday Family Fun Day presented by Wise Markets, featuring pregame autographs, catch on the field, postgame kids run the bases. And it is also a Bark in the Park Day presented by East York Veterinary Center. And most of all, it is this year's Cancer Survivor Day presented by Visiting Angels. We'll also have Transformers character appearances for the kids. Tickets are on sale, YorkRevolution.com, 717-801-HITS, and at the Revs ticket office. And also this weekend on the station, don't forget Saturday morning, from 9 to 11 a.m. Central PA Game Day is live on location from Brooks Huff Tire and Auto Center, 95 Sunset Lane in Manchester. And the folks at Brooks Huff are giving away free hot dogs and refreshments, and we are handing out free Revs tickets on Saturday mornings. So stop out and see Steve and Brett Saturday from 9 to 11 a.m. Once again here, it's 5-4 York as we wait out rain and perhaps a decision here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Right now, we'll send it back to Fox Sports Radio. We'll be back with you as soon as we have some word. And that is right here on Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK.
At the foul line. Help me out. I don't remember that during the regular season. Am I wrong? What was his free throw shooting during the regular season? Tell me.
73%.
Okay.
So here's what I believe, Rob.
He started missing it with air ball.
Right. This was a necessary evil. Okay. I do not look at Giannis. I don't regret voting for him for MVP. I don't look at him now and think, man, he's not nearly as good as I thought. All the greats have to have these moments, have to have the heartache, have to have the adversity, have to have the failure. I'm going to name the few guys that have come right into the league and won championships without experiencing that adversity. Bill Russell, who won it as a rookie. And then you go up to Magic Johnson, who went to a team that had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, best player in the league at the time. Yeah, but you know, he went to a great team. Larry Bird won his second year, but you had Tiny Archibald, a Hall of Famer, Robert Parrish. I'm talking about these guys they had veteran superstars on their team. Hall of Famers who were vets who could help them win it. And then Dwayne Wade won his third year with Shaq. So,
to get the rest of what The Odd Couple said, podcasted by searching Odd Couple. And as always, you can listen to The Odd Couple with Chris Broussard and Rob Parker weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Dan Patrick Show.
Adrian Wojnarowski had the Woj bomb that Daryl Morey, the GM of the Rockets, was looking at maybe changing up this roster. And I guess everybody is available except for James Harden. Why announce it? So now I got Chris Paul, who it always feels like he's got a chip on his shoulder. He's angry about something or someone. And now he knows that he's expendable. Unless you send him to the Lakers, I don't know if Chris Paul is going to be very thrilled to be sent anywhere, even though you got that salary and you got 3 more years at $124 million. And he's nowhere near what he once was. He knew it when he went there of what kind of player James Harden was. And you still have Mike D'Antoni there. Do you change the coach? How about that as a philosophy?
The Dan Patrick Show.
Oh, man, is it fun.
Weekdays, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific on Fox Sports.
Listening to the Doug Gottlieb Show.
It is time. I've told you guys my Isaiah Thomas story, right? Isaiah's not wrong in terms of he was an amazing player and he was the go-to scorer, but there's a reason that Zeke isn't mentioned, and I don't think it's because he wasn't great. It's just because, one, nobody likes Zeke, and then two, I'm not sure anybody actually likes Zeke. And even to this day, he'll never mention Jordan as the greatest player of all time. He'll always say LeBron James. Like, he's still very, very bitter in spite of his success. And if I was that great a player, that impactful, I would probably secretly be that kind of bitter. But outwardly and with your commentary, I don't know. I mean, he and Magic are the same guy, right? Huge, huge smiles, but different guys behind that smile. I think that's what this week exposed.
The Doug Gottlieb Show.
I mean, that's insane.
Weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. Signing off. You kind of like us, right? You're a fan of Dan. You're lolling over Colin. You're smizing for Eisen. You're a fan of Clay. LOL. You're a dweeb for Gottlieb. You'd go through hell for RJ Bell. You quit your job for Chris and Rob. You'd give him a 10 out of 10. His name is Ben. And you'd put an alarm on for Smith and Harmon. Harmon, whatever. Close enough. This is Fox Sports Radio. FS1. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1.
At Farmers Insurance, we know every windshield collision has a unique sound. Beetle, bird poop, drone. Seen it, covered it. Talk to Farmers.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchange and affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Doobie-doobie-doo. Where are It is the Odd Couple, Chris Broussard, Rob Parker on the TV theme show Thursday. I know Ice Cube is like,
Ice Cube,
what kind of theme music y'all got?
I bet you he was a Scooby-Doo fan. Who didn't like Scooby-Doo?
Well, we're going to ask him in a second. Let me read this first. We're brought to you by Discover Card. Discover's going further with miles rewards than they've ever gone before because the Discover Miles Card automatically matches all the miles you earn at the end of your first year. Limitations do apply. Discover match for new card members only. Learn more at discover.com/travel. You heard us talk about it. It's the hip-hop legend, actually legendary actor and director as well, Ice Cube. Welcome to the Odd Couple, man. What's happening?
Yo, what's up with you?
Chilling, man. Now, look, this is a TV theme show Thursday.
So we play the old theme shows.
Yes. What was your favorite sitcom growing up?
Oh, man, it had to be, the Jeffersons.
Good Times.
I loved Good Times. Them two was like
Yep. I'm
top
with you.
notch.
I'm with you on those.
No doubt.
All right, so we want to get you. We know you're a notorious Lakers fan, obviously basketball fan. We're going to get to that NBA stuff, but you got the third season of the Big Three coming up and moving to CBS Sports. That's big, man.
Yes.
Congratulations. Are all the games going to be live? We know in the past some of them have been. Are all the games going to be live this year, and how much of a difference do you expect that to make, if that's the case?
Well, all the games were live last year. The first year we were tape delayed.
Okay.
We played on Sundays and the games came on Monday nights. But last year everything was live. This year, we expect to, be bigger and better, easier to find, right there on CBS. So it's just great for the league to have, this profile going into our third year.
How about some of the new players added? Some names: Jason Terry, Joe Johnson, Josh Smith, Mario Chalmers. You got a lot of good guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gilbert Arenas, Lamar Odom. It's like it's going to be pretty exciting this year to see them play and see them kind of adapt to the 3-on-3 game. Different animal.
I know you. I imagine that you recruited Kobe. Did you get close, or he just definitely isn't doing it, or did you get close?
Well, I just don't think he's into playing professional basketball no more. To be honest,
Right.
So he's retired for real, and you can respect that. He played 20 years in the league, so we don't want guys that don't want to play no more. We want guys that still have the itch, guys a little games.
What surprised you the most? Players, how well they've played, or the fan response, or the competitiveness, whatever it is, what has surprised you the most?
You know, it's a lot of things. You know, it's just, league had, it was 20 years ago, so you understand why when you start one, because nobody really for us last when we came back year. It may happen every year. Right. So, it's just getting people, kind of, comfortable with the league, anticipating the league. To me, it's the coolest thing in the summer. Like, what else is better? I just think, we getting to a point where, the rubber's meeting the road and people are starting to look forward to the Big Three and to either continue their career or where we want to be. We're going to China this year after the season to play some exhibition games.
Wow, okay.
So, we're ahead of schedule.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that because 3-on-3 is getting big internationally. And I think they have some different rules than you guys. But do you ever see, is that helping you guys? Or do you ever see, have you looked into collaborations with any of those, those leagues or anything like that? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, you're talking about FIBA.
Yeah.
They've been doing it for a long time. 3-on-3 is actually bigger in China than 5-on-5 because it's just so easier to kind of get a 3-on-3 game.
Right.
Even here, the kids love 3-on-3 because that's what they play when they go to school.
Also, what old guys like me play who can't run the court anymore.
Without a doubt. So the game is very familiar, but FIBA has really leaned into the amateur version of it. And, the games look, a lot different. Our games look a lot different than a FIBA game. But we felt like we had to make the adjustments so, the pros feel comfortable playing our game. So we feel like it's just two different versions of 3-on-3, and, we're going to go and establish the Big Three China and the Big Three South.
Local players from those
yeah.
regions? Okay.
Yes. With
great.
their pros. And so, we got to crawl before we can walk. So, right now we crawling, but we standing up on the furniture.
Right. I couple
and all the stuff that's going on. How much does that bother you? And does it make sense? Like, okay, we know Magic quit, but then there's all this other stuff out there. Are you a little bothered by where the Lakers are heading?
I wouldn't say bothered, but concerned, yeah, but not bothered.
Back here at New Britain Stadium, it is a final tonight, and it's not a good one. About 10 years ago, Joe Klein had instituted a ruling that all stats would count up until the point at which play was stopped. Evidently, that is no longer followed, and after consulting the Atlantic League rulebook, the final score tonight is a New Britain win of 3-0 in 6 innings. It goes back to the previous completed inning, so it's a 3-0 rain-shortened 6-inning final. The Bees win their 9th in a row. The Revs drop their 5th straight and will head home at 11-22 as they get set to host the Long Island Ducks for a 3-game weekend series beginning tomorrow night. And all the stats from the 7th inning do not count. No triple for Sportman. No home run for Coronado. It is 3-0. Mitch Atkins suffers the loss in 6 innings. He did not give up the home run to Darren Ford in the bottom of the 7th. None of the 3 walks that followed will count. If anything, such a shame for the Revs' sake of things that Mitch was 1 strike away from being through 7 innings and finishing that off. It was 0-2 on Ford when he hit the home run. I have no idea how much Mace wrestled with deciding to leave him in or going to Jarrett Martin when he did. Maybe it was completely made up in his mind and there was no thinking the other way whatsoever. But the Revs were 1 strike, 1 out away from potentially winning this game in 7 innings. And once again, apparently the ruling that Joe Klein put in about 10 years ago is no longer a thing. And evidently the rule book states it goes back to the last completed inning. So therefore it is a 3-0 final score. Your totals tonight for the Revs: no runs, 3 hits, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. For New Britain, 3 runs on 5 hits, no errors. They leave 3. The win goes to Anthony Marzi, who picks up a rain-shortened complete game shutout for himself. He is 1-1. The loss to Mitch Atkins, who falls to 1-3. So a disaster of a trip to Connecticut concludes, and the Revs will get on the bus a little bit earlier than originally anticipated, which they started this game earlier to get it completed and to get the minimum 5 innings in before there might have been conditions like this. It paid off in the sense of them getting their completed game in, but it does go to the Bees 3-0 in a rain-shortened 6 innings. So again, they have won 9 in a row. Incredible. That is longer than any streak the Revs have ever had. Revs' longest is 8. And New Britain goes to High Point this weekend. They will leave at about 1 a.m., we're told. The Revs will be back home hosting Long Island tomorrow night. So that'll be our next broadcast. We'll be on at 6:10 for the pregame, and a 6:30 first pitch as Matthew Grimes faces Jake Fisher tomorrow night. It is Boomers Book Club night presented by Harrisburg University, and tickets are on sale at YorkRevolution.com, 717-801-HITS, and at the Revs ticket office. Until then, Darrell Henry saying so long from Connecticut. Once again, the final in a rain-shortened 6 innings, quote-unquote, officially. It is New Britain 3, York nothing. Thanks a lot for listening. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday evening, and we'll talk to you tomorrow night at 6:10 for the pregame, right here on Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK.
Thank you for listening to York Revolution Baseball on Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK. Catch the Revs all season on York's only place for local sports. Tune in 20 minutes before first pitch for a trip to the clubhouse with player interviews and the manager, Mark Mason, every game. Listen throughout the day for the Revs Report and check out 989WOYK.com for highlights and features on York's pro team. York Revolution Baseball all season on Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports. Now we return to our regularly scheduled programming already in progress on Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK, York.